Hello, and welcome back to the Paper Soprano podcast. I am your podcast host, and my name is Heidi. And today, you guys, it is a winter wonderland. Oh my god. We have been expecting here on the longest of islands. Here on Long Island, we've been expecting some snow, and yeah, it finally showed up. I'm honestly a little bit surprised, but also I shouldn't be because it's winter and like these things should be happening in like the New York area. But they just kind of haven't been. So, yeah, I'm excited. I woke up. I was up a little bit later than I normally wake up. And I got out and I did some shoveling just for funsies. And I know some people are going to be like, ew, what the heck did she just say? Did she just say she shoveled for fun? And the answer to your question is yes. Yes, I did. Because I feel like I would be judged a little bit if I went out and played in the snow. So that's the closest I can get, really. And I live in a rather, I guess, suburban area right now. So, and I actually live like right with, not with, like I live by my, like in my own little apartment here, but my landlord is right next to me. So I shoveled the driveway and she came out and she was like, you don't need to shovel for us. But I was like, honestly, I'm having a great time. So don't take this away from me, okay? But yeah, it was really fun. And now I don't have to do a workout today. So I've also got a little matcha tea here with us today. It's an almond milk tea. It's cold, though. It's cold. I don't know why I chose that, but I've been kind of moving around a lot this morning, so I think I'm warm enough. I'm plenty warm. Now, I feel like I can relate to those people who drink iced coffee all year round. Although I would never I don't know. If you're one of those people, like, you know those people who like drink iced coffee even like in the dead of winter. I saw somebody the other day literally walking outside with like no glove on or anything, just like bare-handing a iced coffee in the middle of January. What the heck? Are you kidding me? I literally like looked at her hand and she looked rather unfazed. But man, if you're one of those people who drinks iced coffee and carries it around without a glove, I don't know about you. Maybe you should like apply to be in the army or something. Cause like that's crazy. Yeah, so lots of exciting things happening this morning. Another exciting thing is I did not have to go into work this morning because the buildings on campus were closed, and actually all campus classes were closed, and that includes online classes. So, pretty weird, but I respect that. Like, I feel like there's a lot of assumptions, I guess, that we kind of don't have snow days anymore, and we're not going to because you can still do online learning. And while that is the case and that can be really convenient for people, I think that it's like, dude, we've got to still cancel classes. If you're canceling in-person learning, you've got to cancel online too. Come on, that's just not fair. And Stony Brook did do that, so I'm very happy to report that we are still experiencing a good old-fashioned snow day in the year 2021. Chivalry isn't dead, people. Just spilled matcha on myself. Cute. Love that for me. And yeah, you guys, is it snowing in other places in the world? I know there's like a nor'easter happening right now. I think DC got some snow. I want to say there's just kind of snow happening in the world. If you are, ooh, that was a big gust of wind. If you are experiencing some snow, I highly encourage you, like, fight your seasonal depression and, like, go play out in the snow. Do something, like, weird and playful and, like, even if it's just shoveling, like if that's all you can muster, I honestly had like a pretty good time. Like I put on a hat, I put on a scarf, my boots, and I like went outside and just had a nice little time out in the snow. I was like looking around, I was enjoying being in the snow. I didn't get like upset when like snow blew right into my face or there was a big gust of wind or something. Like it was just a time where I could be like at peace with the snow. And I think a lot of people they don't experience that. They just experiencing it like in those 45 seconds in which you're trying to get to your car, or the 10 minutes that you didn't prepare for when you have to brush off your car. And people have a really negative relationship with snow in your adult life. In my experience, people as adults, they don't like it because you have to kind of like manage it and deal with it. But I don't know, I think it can be fun, and people are missing out if you're just kind of angry at the snow all the time. Like, you can totally be angry at it, as you wish, but there was definitely a time when you were a kid that you liked snow and you played in snow. I know it. Don't even try to tell me you didn't, because you did. Unless you like lived in Florida or something, but like if you lived in the Northeast in your childhood, there was a time, even just once, where you liked snow. And I think especially now in a pandemic, when we're all literally so upset and like depressed and cranky all the time, you have nothing to lose by going out even just for like 10 minutes and just objectively like trying to have fun in the snow, Make a snowball. I don't know. Throw it at someone. Throw it at your neighbor. Throw a snowball at your dog, and I bet they're going to catch it in their mouth and literally freak out, because that's what my dog used to do. We used to play fetch with snowballs, and she would like, she would do like the dog play stance. She was a yellow lab, and she would do like a dog play stance, and we would just like launch snowballs right into her mouth, and she would just like live for that. Like, she'd wait and be super attentive and super excited and watch us make the snowballs, and then like be like, okay, time to blast me in the face with this snowball. And like, that's hilarious. Come on. You gotta do stuff like that in your life. So if you have a pet, I'm sure you can play outside with them. Even if you have a cat, I think that would be hilarious to take. If I had a cat, I would take it out in the snow. I'd be like, yo, check this out. Maybe not like a fish. Probably not fish, but I don't know, just they're animals. I'm sure they have some kind of awareness of the weather. And if not, then hey man, you're giving this animal a brand new experience. I would put my cat out in the snow on like a little leash or something for like 5 minutes and be like, yo, check this out. And like, just to give it like a change of pace, like that's hilarious. All right, what else do we have going on today? So I've got 2 lessons to teach this afternoon, and then I have a meeting that I have to run later in the evening, and I've got some practicing to do. What do you guys have going on today? It's Monday, but it doesn't feel like it. It weirdly kind of feels like Saturday to me in a way, because like I worked all weekend. Like I literally like had to physically go into work on the weekends when I normally never do that. But it was opening weekend, and technically today, this snow day, is the first day of the semester. So we're off to a great start, although it's kind of a great start for me. I don't know. I don't really care that things are canceled on the first day. That's kind of been the whole vibe of the past semester and 2020 itself, I have low expectations now. And that's a good thing. I have managed my expectations, and if things happen, then they happen, and if they don't, then, I have experienced that many times where things just don't happen. Things just get canceled. And while that is very upsetting, I am familiar with the feeling. So we're learning, okay, we love that for us. Oh, Lord. Let's do a little reading, shall we? Got my minute sketches here. Who are we on today? I don't have my glasses on today, so pray for me. I could easily just go and get them from the other room. Oh my god. You guys, we've got, oh my god, the goat up in here. We've got Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, baby. He is our minute sketch composer of the day. His subtitle is Superman and Super Musician. If you're new to this segment, if you're new to the podcast and you're new to this segment, we do a minute sketch of a composer every day from this book by Eva, who's our girls? Eva B. Hansel and Helen Kaufman. And it's from the 30s, so we take everything that happens here with a grain of salt, and we try and take some new information in if we haven't heard it before. So here we go. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, you guys, born 1756, died 1791. A little boy in white peruke and satin knee breeches, whose feet barely reached the pedals, but whose hands performed astounding feats of dexterity on the keyboard, left the town of Salzburg in Austria, where he was born January 27th, 1756, to play his way to the hearts of all who heard him, from the crusty customs official who tried to detain him at the border to Princess Marie Antoinette and her royal nursery. That little boy was Mozart, and the love his childish performance aroused grew as the boy became a man, virtuoso, and composer. He appears to have come into the world bursting with melodies which his father's strict musical training, added to his own genius, released with a spontaneity that is a never-ending source of wonder. An incessant inner life of creation went on wherever he happened to be, and the whistling, humming, or tapping which where its outward manifestations gave only the faintest indication of its intensity. Every piece of music he wrote, 600 and in his 36 years, was complete in his mind before a note was transferred to paper. The life of such a genius should have been successful and prosperous, but it was neither. After his early triumphs, he took service with the Archbishop of Salzburg, a churlish patron whose exactions would have dried up a steam of inspiration less sparkling than Mozart's. Unrequited affection for a singer that further depressed him. The popularity of his music enriched only the publisher, never the composer. Dang. In 1781, he settled in Vienna, marrying Constance von Weber, sister of his first love. She waltzed with him to keep warm when there was no money for coal. She cut his meat lest he injure his precious hands. She condoned his extravagances. She welcomed his friends, Haydn among them, and rejoiced when he and the latter each paid graceful tribute to the chamber music of the other. His gay operas, The Marriage of Figaro, Così fan tutti, The Magic Flute, and Don Juan, were written during these lean years, as were about 25 piano concertos, 7 for violin, 49 symphonies, innumerable church orchestral, instrumental, and chamber works, all masterpieces of absolute beauty. An unfortunate commission to write a requiem mass for an anonymous patron so depressed him that he was convinced it was for his own funeral. On the day of its completion, he sank into profound melancholy and died that same night, December 5th, 1791. A pauper's grave was the last resting place for the greatest genius of the classical period. What? I'm so confused. I'm like, I know that a lot of these composers, like a lot of them, back in this time, the classical period and before, a lot of them were super poor and had like no recognition while they were doing this. But for some reason in my brain, I thought Mozart was like very well known and like well off. But I guess according to this, and check your sources always, but according to this, he lived a very meager life. And a pauper's grave? Like, where is he buried now? Did they move his grave? This I need to know. I'm sorry, we need to look this up. We must know, where is Mozart's... Was Mozart's grave ever moved? Was Mozart's grave... Was Mozart buried in a pauper's grave? Mozart died in 1791 and was buried in a pauper's grave at Vienna's St. Mark Cemetery. The grave on that spot is adorned by a column and a sad-looking angel. Legend has it that a grave digger who knew which body was Mozart's at some point sneaked the skull out of the grave. And that's from livescience.com. Not sure if I believe this source, but that's an interesting thing, I guess. But yeah, wow. Okay, so he definitely died poor from what I'm seeing here. Wow. Yeah, but he was still in demand all over Europe. Like, there has to be some times of prosperity. I don't know. This is very interesting to me. If you know anything about Mozart's grave, or how Mozart, like, I don't know, Mozart's gross income, like, what was the deal? I thought he was well, not well received, because I think he was well received, but like well paid. But they did allude to this idea that he, like, the publishers were the ones getting paid. Like, what the heck is up with that? Oops, sorry, just hit the microphone again. Yeah, you guys. So, I've got some other things to do here before I get on moving with my lessons and my meetings and the rest of the day. But I think we're gonna cut it short here. I've got to conserve my energy, because I know that I am not as young as I once was. And I know that this shoveling is going to catch up with me in a couple of days, so I'm trying not to, like, push it too hard. I also think I slept on my neck weird. You know when you have, like, a little bit of, like, a weird feeling, like, and you're just, like, you're not, like, sick or anything, but you have, like, a neck pain, like you pulled a muscle or something. I have one of those, and I felt it yesterday, and I was like, oh, it's probably nothing, and now today it's worse. So probably pulled a muscle in my neck. Love that for me. But yeah, so gonna take it easy for the rest of the day, do what I need to do, and I hope you do what you need to do, and you live your life for the rest of the day, okay? You better enjoy this fun, snowy day if this is what you're experiencing. You better go out there and do what makes you the most fulfilled. Go live your life. Sit inside. Drink a cup of coffee. Sit with a book. Or don't do that. Maybe watch TV. Maybe do that laundry that you've been putting off. Maybe do your dishes. I don't know. Whatever's going to make you the happiest, okay? But whether or not it makes you happy, you need to practice, okay? Because I'm looking out for you. I'm trying to help you, okay? You just need to. You just need to. Make some time for it today. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this podcast. And if you do and you want to hear more, we do a daily podcast here over at the Paper Soprano. And we post at random times. Sometimes it's in the middle of the day, sometimes it's first thing in the morning, sometimes it's at 7 at night. We don't know. So keeps you on your toes. If you want to subscribe to this channel, go ahead and subscribe. And you can even turn on those post notifications, the little bell icon. You can turn on notifications and you'll get notified whenever I post a podcast. So you won't have to know when I'm going to post it. It won't be a surprise. You can have your phone just remind you that Paper Soprano is ready for listening. And you can also like and comment this video if you want, although there's no pressure, ever. This is a low production podcast, and I'm not ever going to pressure anybody to, like and comment. I'm not trying to be famous here, girl. I'm just trying to have a chat, okay? That's the whole vibe. So I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, whenever you happen to be listening to this podcast, and thank you for listening. Thanks for being here. Go out and live your life. Go. Be gone. Get out of here. Get out of here. Can't you see we don't want you anymore? Okay, I've never even seen that movie. Okay, love you, mean it. Bye.